Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Jaquan,
I'm Jasmine.
and welcome to the Film Spill.
So, today, guys, we're going to be reviewing seasons 1 and 2 of Raised by Wolves. This is a sci fi series, and here's the summary. Two androids are tasked with raising human children on a mysterious virgin planet. As the human colony threatens to be torn apart by religious differences, the androids learn that controlling the beliefs of humans is a treacherous and difficult task.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this series. We really just enjoy sci-fi. So just kind of watching this show, I was very happy to watch. But then just like a lot of shows, when it got to season 2, it just fell super flat. And it really kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So here are my ratings for Raised by Wolves. So the rating I gave this series was a 3 out of 5. Very close to 2.5, but I'm going to hang my head on the 3 only because of one major pro. So let's get into my pros and my cons. My very first pro, like I stated, it's a sci-fi series. I enjoy sci-fi. We watch so many, not only just series, but just movies. I feel like sci-fi is normally the number one thing we go look for. My next pro was I just really enjoy Mother's abilities, right? So her being a necromancer, her eyes, and the screaming ability, she was just savage. Like, it was really one of those things where we were like, how are they going to beat that girl, right? And of course we found out the weakness was you had to take them eyeballs. But when she did have them in, she was a savage, and I really just enjoyed seeing how she screamed, how she changes her necromancer ability, floating around, arms out. She was a savage. My next pro was Campion. His name is just so cool to me. It's very different. As you know, I put it in the song. It's just like a twist on the word champion. It was just cool to say. So yeah, shout out to Campion. My next pro was, it was really cool seeing Ragnar from Vikings again. So Ragnar basically played Marcus. If you guys don't know who Ragnar is, he basically played in this show called Vikings. Amazing show. We will definitely talk about it in the future. But just seeing him again was really cool. My next pro was, it was very crazy when Mother stole the Mithraic ship and crashed it, destroying half of the humans that was on board. That just showed, that right there was like the introduction of us realizing that she was a savage and she did not care. The next pro was whenever they resurrected grandmother. I remember talking to you I kept saying like, father is gonna figure out how to get this thing up and running. I honestly thought I thought she was gonna be more powerful. She was kind of like conniving, is how she ended up tricking mother and, putting her into that virtual reality sleep. I thought she was gonna be a little bit powerful, so that was kind of disappointing. But other than that, it was cool when they resurrected her in season 2. My last pro is whenever they found Ortho the rapist, and he had that bomb attached to his head, and he could not move a certain amount of feet away from the android he was bound to. Eventually, that ended up happening and blowing up. But for the most part, that was just crazy because I'm like, yo, he deserved it, but it was just crazy. All right, let's get into my cons. My first con was I just did not like how Mother started to treat Father. Like, as the season 1 started to go on, and he was just like, because he wanted to, he wanted this family, he wanted everything to be. She just basically treated him like a servant. Like, yeah, we take care of the kids and stuff, but I'm in love with, the actual real Campion and, and her mission and stuff. And he just basically just started feeling bad. And all them times this dude got killed and brought back to life, I'm like, they just was treating him horrible. The next con was I did not like how whenever we found out she got pregnant, we were like, how does a robot or android gets pregnant in a simulation? What tops is how the hell she's pregnant with a snake? Like, that's when season 2 just started going so crazy. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, it was just dumb. So yeah, I definitely didn't like that part. I didn't like how when Marcus became like aware of soul or whatever, his appearance started to change, how he was looking weird and stuff with the veins and black. It was just weird how they started showing how his appearance. It was very dumb. Another dumb thing. As the more I'm talking about this stuff, it's like I think my rating may have to change to a 2. But yeah, so I think I'll probably keep it at 2. So yeah, you guys, I had to change that. But basically, whenever Sue turns into a tree, It's like this lady turned into a
A
tree, dude.
tree.
Like first somebody getting pregnant to a snake, and then somebody turned into a tree. Like they were just going so off the rails with this show. Like it just can't wrap my mind around it. That's why I was like, I have to change my rating because this lady turned into a tree. Anyway, and then my last con was whenever that mermaid like creature or something took the baby, the girl didn't want the baby, then she wanted the baby back, and then
That's
she
true.
didn't want it, and the boy was like he killed it and get the baby. She was upset. It was just
A
a
lot.
lot, yeah. It was a whole lot of crazy situation going on, and they were ugly too. Whatever those creatures were, their mermaid thing. Come to find, I think they were actually humans or something at one point. They got devolved. It was just a whole lot of craziness that they started to do in season 2, and by that time frame, we found out that they were canceled. It was like, okay, thank God, because this is horrible. Other than that, yeah, those are my pros and my cons.
Okay, guys. So I give the series 2 out of 5 as well. It was a very interesting concept. Two
Yeah,
androids are tasked with raising human children, but like he said, especially with season 2, it just went downhill. I was not expecting all the kids to die except for one in the first season, so that was like kind of shocking because they're here to raise human kids, and then there's only one kid left. Their outfits were not cute. They did them so wrong with them rubber onesies. I didn't like that. Like you said about Mother, she was a necromancer, which is basically a killing machine, but she was trying to be a mom and a nurturer to the kids. So it was just interesting to see that whole scenario thing. It was crazy how Caleb and Mary stole the identities of Marcus and Sue and had that plastic surgery on their faces so that they can pass as them. That was
yeah.
interesting. But of course, it was crazy that the couple had a son because now they have to act like parents. And I'm like, he should see right through them. Like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, he should know that's not his parents because you know how your parents act. But whatever. He ended up finding out later. Marcus was an interesting character because he was an atheist, and then he heard the voices on Kepler and believed Sun God Soul spoke to him that he was the prophet. And then he started acting so erratic to the point where like Sue left and took the kids. His followers were trying to take him out. Everything is just crazy. Like he said, Mother gets pregnant and gives birth to a crazy killer snake, and then she tries to sacrifice herself, father, and the snake, but it doesn't work. Grandmother is introduced in season 2, and for the most of season 2, they have to figure out how to take out number 7, which is Mother's baby. And then, like he said, the creatures who lived in the acid lake turn out to be humans who used to live on that planet, but they were devolved. It was just a lot going on. It was kind of confusing. It was weird. It was, all over the place. But it was a good sci-fi show. But it was just a lot going on. Especially season 2, it made it go downhill. So I give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, you was right. That concept itself was really dope.
Yeah.
It just started just throwing too many curveballs. But yeah, just like always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. You guys have a good one.